Ain't nobody leaving their child, so I don't understand what y'all standing for. My voice can go down when everybody leave me alone and my daughter can go.
The family out of Texas has given an update on their twin baby who recently passed away. The funeral home called them and said she arrived with no organs. Baby Samaria was born at Harris Hospital in Fort Worth. She is a twin. Besides being born prematurely, they had no other health issues. The father said they were on 21% oxygen, but most recently they were on 3%. The father said in the week before her passing, their medical team had changed. The twins were born on October 25th, and the father came on December 5th to see his babies like he always did. When he arrived, he was told he had to stay outside because they were performing a sterile procedure on Samaria. He said he didn't receive a call about this, a text, nothing. He didn't know until he arrived. He started to ask questions and he said, well, I have 2 babies. Can I see my other child? And they told him no. As you can expect, he continues to ask questions, and 10 minutes later, a nurse comes and says that around 8 a.m. she noticed that Samaria was pale, but her vitals were good. But when she came back at 11:30, she was still pale, and at that time she decided to notify her superior. So he asked, well, what changed? If the symptoms were the same, why did you finally notify them at 11:30?
I need Black women to hear me and hear me now. If you are pregnant in 2025, and if you have enough time, you need to reach out right now to a doula or somebody that can deliver your baby at home, or somebody that can be there in that hospital that is going to advocate for you when you are being mistreated, somebody that is going to watch your baby for you. When they take that baby away from you, you need to have eyes on that baby at all times. We just saw the stories of the 2 Black women, the one that got kicked out of the hospital and ended up having her baby 8 minutes after they kicked her out the hospital. The one that was in active labor and ended up having her baby 8 minutes or something like that when they got her in the room. We saw the story of the Black woman that was brain dead, and they used her body to carry her baby to term as an incubator. But her baby is 6 months old now and is still in the hospital struggling to survive. Now here's another story of a twin baby girl that was taken out in one of these hospitals, and they took her organs without her parents' permission. They harvested this little girl's organs, baby, newborn, and the parents didn't even know until she got to the funeral home, and the funeral home told them. And the news is not covering this. We need to share these videos. We need to talk about it. And I need Black women to listen and get smarter. You are in a hostile environment. You are in a racist, hostile environment. Your baby's organs will be harvested to save somebody else's baby that doesn't look like yours. They don't care about Black bodies. It's obvious. This country has never cared about Black bodies. And it's being silenced on the news. So I'm going to ask y'all to share this video. I'm about to get into these videos and let y'all know a little bit more about it. And I will talk to y'all later. I need y'all to really listen up and pay attention and stop thinking that you can just get pregnant all willy-nilly and you're behind enemy lines. You're on the battlefield. It is not safe for you to keep birthing children. It's not safe for any woman right now, but particularly Black women, because we don't have hospitals owned by people that look like us.
Have you been watching the videos on TikTok and other social media platforms where baby Samaria's organs were not in her body when she got to the morgue, and her parents never signed off on it? They were never notified. They only found out later when the morgue informed them. This is not clickbait. This is not a false story. This is a true story that just recently happened, and they're not getting any news coverage whatsoever. The only coverage that this family is getting to get justice for their baby girl is social media. We need your help to get their story out. I had the pleasure of meeting and speaking with Kenneth and Samaria, the parents of baby Samaria, last night, and I'm going to be sharing multiple clips of our interview last night. What happened to them is unjust as it comes. This should never happen anywhere, let alone here in the United States. We need your voice, your share, your repost. We need your comments. We need to make them pay attention and answer to what happened. I am here with Samaria and Kenneth, and we are going to let them share their story about what happened with their baby girl that was in the NICU, Samaria. First of all, I just want to thank you all for being here with me today and being willing to share your story. And I know that you all are going through something unimaginable that no parent should ever have to go through. Can you walk me through the timeline from your pregnancy to when your daughters were admitted into the NICU?
Yes. You mind if I pray?
No, go ahead. Yes.
Oh, gracious Father, thank you for another blessed day, Lord. Thank you for watching over us. Thank you for humbling our minds and our heart, Lord. Thank you for giving us the courage to be able to stand and do your will, Lord. You told me if I be obedient, you'll take care of the rest, Lord. And it's hard, troubling time, God. It's unimaginable. And this is a great test of faith, God. I need you to give us the best strength that you got at this moment, God, because right now I don't have all the answers. I lean out on my understanding, trusting that, you're a way maker, God. I'm a problem solver, but you're a way maker, God. And right now, I need you to make a way like no other, God. So I just ask that you bless my mind and my heart to say and do as you want me to do, God. I ask that you be able to use me to touch those that you want me to touch, God, because you are real, God. I will give you all the praise. I will rejoice and just know that this is all by you, God. Put your hands of protection around my family. Continue to just bless these doctors, bless these mothers, bless these fathers out here, God, that have children to be able to understand that you are God and you are God alone. No one can beat you at being God. No one can do what you're able to do, God. And I know that this is a troubling time, that it's a far road ahead of us, God, and we're going to need you every day, every step of the way. We're going to need the encouragement when the phones start ringing and people start asking, help us to be great parents, to be able to trust in each other and just know that you put us in this position for a reason, to be able to just trust in you and use us, God. So whatever it is you asking us to do, God, just bless us, God. Keep your hands of protection around us. Amen.
In Jesus.
Thank you for that.
When the father went to go see his twins, as he normally does, they said one of the twins were in distress. They would not let him see them. And every time he kept asking questions, they kept on like deflecting and just giving him the runaround with the questions that he was asking, but they still wouldn't let him see the babies. So come to find out, the baby had passed away. Now here's the big problem. That couple know that something's not right with their babies. They've been at that hospital every day. They know everything that was going on with their baby. They've been keeping up. The babies were only there to try to get their weight up. You know how they do when they keep the babies, when they premature, they try to get their weight up, get them drinking, make sure they breathing and everything is good before they release them home to you. Well, that's the state where their baby was. And then all of a sudden the baby is then passed away. So they want answers, and we gonna help them get those answers, because we gonna share their story. They're saying when the baby arrived at the funeral home, the baby's organs were missing. They never authorized the baby's organs to be taken. So at what point did all of this happen? And when they were asking the questions, he was asking, well, how did the baby was fine? At this point, when I went to see him, y'all never called us and said the babies were in distress. We need to get here and get some help or get some authorization. They just doing what they want to do. And then when as they asking questions, they wouldn't give them the answers that they need. And how did the baby's organs get missing at the funeral home when the baby got to the funeral home? So it's more to this story, and it's a cover up. So we got to help them get their story out so that we can find out what happened. We got to get some justice for baby Samaria, because they are just doing what they want to do to these black families when they come into these hospitals, and it's not fair. So we want to get justice for Samaria and justice for Kenneth and Samaria as well. And like I said, the story is still folding. They're still trying to get answers. They have sought legal advice, but we just trying to get their story out here. So y'all like, share, comment, and repost this story so we can get this story as far reach as we can get it to help them get some justice.
And that's where it gets gray. Some claim they don't need permission for diagnostic purposes, organs, or full harvesting. So in the case that recently happened, they just did it. Didn't even tell the parents. Not once. When parents questioned them, kind of blew them out and said to leave. They didn't have to answer to them. So this is why it's important. These are the next 4 lines that you need to have and say if you're in a situation like this. The second your baby passes, I lost my place. The second your baby is gone, demand in writing, text, email, the doctor, nurse, manager, no autopsy, no organ removal, no tissue retention of any kind beyond what's legally mandated, and even then return everything immediately. Ask for the hospital's exact post-mortem policy the day you are admitted to the NICU. Make them put it in writing. Put it in your birth plan or admission paperwork in a...
I'm just going to give my opinion, and basically I do believe that this hospital more than likely harvested this baby's organs to save another child. Now, the couple was very adamant that they did not give the hospital permission to harvest their baby's organs, and I do believe them, because what reason would they have to believe that their baby would not push through? Not only were statistics in their favor, as little Black girls in NICU seem to pull through a lot better versus other races. On top of that, the babies didn't have any other complications and were primarily breathing on their own. I'm just going to take a guess here and say that I do feel like this baby was targeted. The organs were harvested to probably save another baby in the NICU that might have been some staff member's child or relative or close friend for them to even think to take this risk. And I'm just using my context clues here. There was no notification to the family that there were even any complications, which they're supposed to notify the parents, especially if there is something that seems critical or life-threatening. The fact that the entire staff changed, they weren't notified, it's just pretty much like, hey, we've got some new people working with your children. Why wasn't there a notification there as well? On top of the fact that the father did such an amazing job as a Black man keeping his emotions in check and making sure that he represented his family well and explained in great detail what happened to his baby. And then for the hospital to not communicate that they took these people's babies' organs before they handed it over to the funeral home, but the fact that the funeral home had to contact them and say, hey, we received your baby, but they have no organs, is chilling as fuck. And Black women need to share as much stories as we see on this, because not only us as Black women are we not making it through labor and delivery, now we have to worry about them harvesting our baby's organs. Like, it gets to a fucking point. If you are at a childbearing age, I suggest you maybe look at other alternative methods when it comes to delivering your baby, where you deliver your baby, who you deliver your baby with, like alternative methods, baby, because this is not safe for us. It is not safe.
Black baby's organs were just harvested? No, I'm not over-exaggerating. Samaria Bates and her fiance Kenneth welcomed premature twin girls on October 23, 2025 at Texas Health Harris Methodist in downtown Fort Worth. Both babies were placed in the NICU primarily to grow stronger, improve feeding, and gain weight before going back home. For approximately 6 weeks, the family says both twins were making steady progress. However, on December 5th, 2025, the family said one of the twins, baby Samaria, suddenly passed away. Kenneth, the baby's father, arrived at the hospital for what he believed would be a normal visit, but was denied access and told a sterile procedure was underway. Kenneth says a nurse later acknowledged that the baby had appeared pale earlier, but the concern was not escalated at that time. The family was not contacted during the emergency and only learned something was wrong by being physically present and demanding information. To this day, the family have yet to receive a clear or consistent explanation of what happened, and that verbal accounts from staff do not fully align with what they believe occurred, and repeated attempts to meet calmly with hospital leadership for answers have gone unanswered. Not only that, but there were people who were on the my chart that Kenneth was given that were not actually present that day or for baby Samaria's passing. If that's not bad enough, the family says the situation became even more alarming after their daughter's death. No consent forms were signed authorizing organ removal, and a funeral home had to inform them that when baby Samaria arrived, she arrived without her organs. The family has only just learned this information and are urgently seeking to understand how this could have happened and who, if anyone, authorized such actions. Baby Samaria and her family deserve justice, transparency, and accountability for what happened. And we also need to highlight a broader pattern in healthcare where Black mothers aren't safe and Black babies aren't safe either.
Not only do we gotta worry about them stealing our organs, we gotta worry about them stealing our babies' organs too. The mama or daddy ain't signed no paperwork for nobody to take nothing out of their kid, and they really puzzled as fuck trying to see, bitch, did y'all just kill my fucking baby so y'all can harvest her organs?
What the fuck you mean she arrived at the morgue with no organs? What the fuck do you mean that you waited from 8 p.m. when she was pale to 11 p.m. when she was still pale to call your supervisor? What the fuck do you mean that they can't take their baby home because of insurance? What the fuck do you mean that the doctors that are listed on her medical charts are not the doctors that were actually present? What do you mean that the doctors and nurses that were with that child the entire time through the NICU experience magically was not?
They brought in a whole different group of people to take this baby out and to take her organs. This is organized terrorism on you and your babies. Pay attention.
The week that the child got sick with a stomach ache? What the fuck do you mean?
You know, I've been watching all the TikToks about this
the
poor
mom
little
and the dad
baby.
before you started doing life
Samara, I hope I'm saying her name right. And the fact that when the morgue got her, supposedly, allegedly, she had no organs. And we know how things went with Hoover and stuff, where they literally tried to take his organs while he was still alive and fighting. A lot of people are saying that they would not take her organs for donations because she's a preemie. And that's just something that they don't do. I don't know if that's true, though, in today's world. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if they did take her organs, was it because they done something wrong and they were trying to cover it up? I don't know if they would be that dumb to take them and transplant them into other children knowing that these babies were early. I don't know. But what I do know is this mother and father should have answers that they deserve. That a hospital should not be covering this up. Our medical industry in the United States, yes, I said industry, is so out of control and so out of hand. They do not care about their patients. I really, really hope that somebody actually comes forward, a lot of somebodies, and helps this mother and father because they deserve it and they need it. And they need the answers of what really happened to their baby and where are the organs. If this baby passed away from natural causes, why would they have not asked the parents if this was for donations, for organ donation? You know, there's these babies that need help. I just find it so confusing that they're saying all of her organs are gone. All of them. There's something very strange about that. At a time when Congress is supposed to be looking into cases when it comes to organ donations, if this is how it really went down, this is just the icing on top.
This story needs to be getting way more media attention than it currently is, because trust me, if it could happen to that family, it could happen to your family. It could happen to any innocent,
they did not sign anything agreeing
if
to
it is not out
donation
there and it is not addressed correctly and
so
questions
why
are
was
answered
this
that need to
seemingly
be
healthy
asked.
child now not just deceased but missing multiple organs? It's absolutely disgusting. It's something that needs to be intensely investigated, and this family needs justice. Right now they do have a GoFundMe up asking people for donations so that they could fight this, because unfortunately trying to get legal justice in this country sometimes, it's going to cost you a pretty penny. Hearing this story, it came across my TikTok For You page, and I did some more research on it, and it just absolutely blew my mind. It absolutely disgusted me. And as somebody who has spent far more time in the medical system than I would care for, they do some shady shit. They do some really shady shit, and you have to be your biggest advocate for yourself and for your loved ones, because if you're not, they will pull a fast one on you, and there are evil people working in this system, unfortunately. My heart and my prayers
prayers go out to this poor family. I cannot even imagine the grief that they're going through. And I hope that Samaria gets the justice that she deserves, because this is absolutely inexcusable. And the fact that they're so unwilling to talk to the family, it's beyond words disgusting.
There have been peaceful protests demanding answers, and they've gone to the hospital to just calmly try to talk to anybody there that day to get some sort of answers. But as you can see, they get pushed back and even threatened that if they don't leave, they're going to be forced to leave. And then the mother's sister, so the aunt, posted this on her Facebook a couple days ago. She said, "My sister never signed off on anything about organs, and the funeral home notified us today that baby Samaria arrived without her organs." Now, I don't know if an autopsy was done and some of the organs got removed to be tested, but I would think that they'd have to put the organs back. And if it was an organ procurement or donation type of thing, those organs have to stay viable. So the baby would have needed to have been kept on a ventilator in order to keep oxygen flowing to the organs. The dad did mention going back to the hospital that night sometime around 7 p.m. and the baby was allegedly intubated. It's all just so crazy, and I feel absolutely horrible for this family. Now, this was a post made by baby Samaria's mother, who's also named Samaria. She said, "Hey, family and friends, for those that do not know, one of my twin girls passed away this past Friday on December 5th in the NICU unit at Texas Health Harris Methodist, downtown Fort Worth. After asking multiple questions, just trying to get some clarity, I still have not been informed by anyone what took place leading up to my baby's death. There are a lot of discrepancies from what I'm being told, what's on paper, and what took place. This is an ongoing issue within the Black community, and it's time for us to stick together. I am seeking justice for my baby and will not stop fighting until I get answers." What do you guys think about all of this? I can't imagine losing my child, but then not even knowing why I lost my child, and then finding out that some of her organs were gone.
I just know that Black
it's
women,
just horrible.
it's time for y'all, for us to start fighting back. If y'all don't want to stop having babies right now in a hostile environment, y'all see all the things that are going on in these hospitals, y'all are going to have to fight back, or you're going to have to start your own birthing centers. You're going to have to learn how to be doulas. You're going to have to learn how to bring your own babies into this world. Right now, I don't know why anyone would want to bring their kids into a racist, hostile world or country, especially this country right now. If you're paying attention to anything that our government is doing right now, they are coming hard for Black women, for Black people, period. But Black women are going to get it the worst, because we are the ones who are birthing the people into this world that they don't want here. They don't want us to outnumber them. They're trying to get their numbers up and lower our numbers by any means necessary. I know a lot of y'all don't know what I'm talking about because you're not paying attention, but a lot of us are paying attention, and a lot of us are saying, not just Black women, women in Korea, the South Korean 4B movement, they are not birthing any kids for these men. They're not having sex, they're not dating, they're not getting married, because the women and the children are in danger and nobody is doing anything about it. So women, you have the power to stop this. You have the power to not get pregnant and to allow them to do this to you and your babies. I can't even imagine the pain. I can't imagine the pain. I have a niece that's pregnant, and I cannot imagine. I'm scared for her. She's not even aware of what's going on in this world right now. But she was afraid to tell me that she was pregnant again because she thought I was going to be mad at her. And it's not that I was going to be mad at her. I just know what the possibility is, and I wouldn't wish this hurt on nobody. So y'all need to be sharing these videos. Y'all need to be talking about this, because a lot of our people do not know the danger that we are in. And Black men are on the internet talking about how much they hate us, how much they don't want to be with their kids, how much they don't like their kids unless they're sleeping with the mom, how much they want to be with white women. They're doing all of this and you're unprotected. So I'm telling Black women, you need to come up with ways to protect yourselves. We need to get some kind of class action lawsuit because we have enough stories like this. We need to do something. Because I see right now that y'all are not... I'm sorry, my alarm went off, but I see right now that a lot of women are not paying attention. A lot of women are not going to stop getting pregnant. I see pregnant black women walking around, not as much as I used to, and I'm happy for that, but if you're in any of these, I'm in a southern state. I'm in a very racist southern state, one of the states with the lowest IQ. So I don't plan on having any more kids. I'm done. My youngest is 13 and I'm done. But for those who are, I would reconsider having kids. If you're like 20, in your 20s at all, just reconsider having kids at all, or just at least put it on hold for the next 5 years to see what's about to happen in this country. You don't want to be pregnant. The more kids you have, the more poverty you're going to be in the first place, but you don't want to have to go through this. Everything is getting expensive. People are losing their jobs, losing their lives. Just look around. It's not a good situation. We're in a job freeze. We're on the verge of an economic collapse. So now is not the best time to have kids. As a mother, you need to be worried about your safety and the safety of the kids you already have, because this world is not safe right now under this regime. We don't have a president. We have a dictator in office right now who is very much does not like black people, does not like black women or women at all. So black women, you are the least protected. You always have been. This stuff is being allowed, and it's going to be hard trying to fight it. It's going to be going on strike outside the hospitals is not going to do it. Y'all need to stay out of these hospitals by any means necessary. And I, for one, I think you should cut that off at not getting pregnant. Do not get pregnant. But just share this video, ladies. Let's talk about this. Get down in the comments. Let me know if you heard about this story. Do you know anybody that's pregnant right now? Are they trying to get a doula? Are you talking to them and showing these videos about, what's going on with black women in these hospitals? If you aren't, please talk about it. Please, if you're considering starting your own channel now or next year, please do so to spread the word more, because the media is not trying to show these stories, and I think black women need to wake up quick. I'll talk to you ladies later. Bye.